Chapter 895. Happy about being chased down. Misunderstanding. This is a misunderstanding. Fang Yan appeared like he was forced to. Seeing an old man like Xing Xiangzi appearing in front of her suddenly, Song Yishe immediately shrieked. Right now, she was relaxing in the hot spring, completely naked. It was naturally her most vulnerable moment. If the one that appeared was a female, so be it, but it happened to be a male Gu immortal. There should be prudence between sexes. Song Yishe fell into panic. I can explain. All this is a big misunderstanding. Please, you must listen to my explanation. Fang Yuan waved his hand, speaking without stop. At this moment, Song Yishe's panic was already surpassed by an intense anger. Perverted thief, die! Song Yishe hit her body in the hot spring and pointed a finger at Fang Yuan. Immortal killer move stream veil. There was an increase of water vapor in the air. Two streams of water that were like long sleeves of dancing women, or like thin veils worn by beauties to cover their face, coiled around Fang Yuan from both sides. Fang Yuan's heart shook. Song Yishe was a water path Gu immortal. This stream veil was an immortal killer move, and it was an exceptional method to capture enemies. If Fang Yuan was struck by this move, it would be difficult for him to get free. Not daring to let this stream veil near him, Fang Yuan quickly retreated. Starlight shone around him, and star snakes moved in the air, facing the stream veil. Immortal killer of star snake rope. Star snakes entangled the stream veil, but stream veil was like water, drowning the star snakes. In just few breaths of time, the star snakes vanished into nothingness. The stream veil moved towards Fang Yuan again. Star snake rope and stream veil are both capturing methods. I didn't think the gap between them would be so huge. Fang Yuan's heart sank. Fortunately, with this small delay, Starlight Immortal Gu in his immortal aperture was completely activated. Bright light shot out from the immortal Gu like a rising sun. Surrounding the Starlight Immortal Gu were countless fire path mortal Gu, like tens of thousands of fireflies. Star path immortal killer, move starfire escape. Whoosh! Fang Yuan's whole body burned with deep blue flames, and he soared to the sky like lightning. Where are you going? Song Yishe yelled in a charming voice as she used the killer move to obstruct Fang Yuan. Bam! A huge explosion erupted at top of underwater volcano. The seabed shook, torrents rose. The underwater volcano's top part was destroyed for the most part. The natural protective structure was broken, causing endless amounts of seawater to flow inside. Song Yishe was very busy for a while dealing with the flying rocks and the flowing seawater. She put up a defensive barrier and quickly wore her clothes, her mind slightly calmed down. Then, without caring about the destruction of the volcano by the seawater, she started flying towards the direction Fang Yuan left in. You cannot escape! Song Yishe shouted with clenched teeth. Fang Yuan's speed, with Starfire Escape's help, was extremely fast, but because the water was extremely deep, it took a good while to fly out of the sea surface. In his previous life, they recorded that Li Xiaoyao fell to the bottom of the cliff and entered the undercurrent which took him to the underwater volcano. The bottom of the volcano was too hot. Li Xiaoyao tried to get away from it by moving to the peak of the volcano, where he unexpectedly saw Song Yishe, who was bathing. Song Yishe immediately captured him, but after interrogating him, she was instead very pleased. She had not known there was an extremely hidden undercurrent in the underwater volcano. At this moment, the sea was besieged by strong enemies. Li Xiaoyao's appearance instead gave Song Yishe a hope to escape. Song Yishe used this undercurrent to be free from the predicament. While Li Xiaoyao's life had a great turn from here on, Song Yishe took him under her wing and guided him on Gu Master cultivation. The treatment Fang Yuan received was completely different from Li Xiaoyao's. Li Xiaoyao was a handsome young boy. Although I am an immortal and also have taken a good appearance, it is one where I am already in my 70s and 80s. Song Yishe is young, and Song Clan is also a colossal force. It would be strange if she did not get angry and chase me down. Fang Yuan sighed while secretly observing behind him. When he found Song Yishe was chasing him, He gave a light smile before charging out of the sea surface. William Mortal Yao Gapi was one of Song Yishi's pursuers, and right now he was lurking around the poetic emotion sea area. He looked young, was handsome and charming, and had rank 6 cultivation. He was a lone cultivator of Eastern Sea. Fairy Yishi will go bathe in the hot spring of the underwater volcano every once in a while. None of them know this secret, only I am aware of it at present. I will take this chance to have more contact with Fairy Yishi. If I can marry her, would I still have to fear not having enough cultivation resources? What is going on? Yao Gapi gazed at the source of the sound and saw Fang Yuan flying out of the sea with a miserable appearance. A giant wave rose up in the calm sea. Looking at his appearance, he seems to be a thief. Do I chase him? Yao Gapi hesitated. Right at this time, Song Yishu also flew out of the sea surface and looked at Fang Yuan's receding figure in the air, shouting in anger. Perverted thief! Don't run! Die! What? Perverted thief? Yao Gapi felt like he had been struck by a lightning. His eyes protruded out till they almost fell off. Pervert? Perverted thief? What happened to Fairy Yi Shi? That old bastard is actually a daring lecher. Damn it, kill him! Yao Gapi roared inwardly, killing intent filling his heart. Fairy Yi Shi, don't worry, I, Yao Gapi, am here. The next moment, Yao Gapi shouted loudly, stepping forward. Song Yishi was dazed. Her original provoked and aggressive air also stilled. She had just attacked with anger and had not thought much when she shouted furiously. But with Yao Gapi's appearance, she could not help but feel panic. Oh heavens, have mercy! She was still a young lady, and this was the first time she had experienced a situation like this. Regarding this matter, she naturally wanted to cover it tightly. It was best if she resolved everything herself, kill Fang Yuan, and no one else would know of this matter. If this matter were to be spread, how would she face others in future? However, another Gu immortal appeared now. She recognized this person. He was one of those hateful pursuers. His surname seemed to be Yao. Song Yishu was not too sure. Yao Gapi was even more distressed and anguished the moment he saw Song Yishi's panicked expression. He then observed Song Yishi's flushed face, red like she had just gone through intercourse. The killing intent inside him increased by dozens of times in an instant. Actually, nothing had happened, but the imagination of humans was endless. Moreover, Yao Gapi was a man and a crazed pursuer. He easily interpreted the expression in an entirely dark manner. Right now, Yao Gapi was thinking, this old pervert that is escaping with all his strength has definitely taken huge advantage of her. He might have used some dirty tricks to drug Fairy Yishi. He must have approached her. No, he likely kissed her and touched her. Who knows how much Fairy Yishi was encroached upon, how much humiliation she suffered. With such thoughts, the fury in Yao Gapi's heart burned so high that it seemed to ignite his whole body. He chased furiously while screaming, You damned old bastard, old lecher! Don't run! You dare to desecrate our Fairy Yishi? I am going to skin you alive. I will make you regret everything you did to Fairy Yishi. When Song Yishi heard this furious scream, her whole body shook and she almost fell down from the air. Don't scream so loudly. Are you trying to let the whole world know? Isn't it best if we quietly, quickly, and secretly kill this damn geezer? Unfortunately, the furious Yao Gapi could not hear Song Yishi's thoughts. And this was the first time Song Yishu had encountered such a situation, so she lost her composure. She wanted to transmit her voice to say this to Yao Gapi, but she was too young and could not speak up no matter what. How embarrassing was it if she said it outright? Among these three, the happiest was, instead, Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had already calculated Song Yishi's reaction. Yao Gapi's appearance, however, was an unexpected surprise. Good, that's good. Scream loudly. Yes, a bit louder. Fang Yuan inwardly cheered Yao Gapi. The two Gu immortals chasing absolutely would not be imagining the strange thoughts in Fang Yuan's mind at this moment. Fang Yuan wanted to blow the situation up into a huge matter. Song Yishu was a Gu immortal of a superforce. Song clan, she was the apple of Song Chi Yuan's eye, with many pursuers. After this matter blows up, Fang Yuan would have an external pressure to join Zombie Alliance. However, this conflict was not from swindling money, murdering someone's parents, or a life-and-death battle. At most, Fang Yuan had only taken a glance unintentionally. Song Yishe was a young girl with very few experiences. Her thoughts were still conservative. Naturally, she would feel wronged and furious at having someone see her body for the first time. This was the natural mentality of young people. As they got older and more experienced, no matter who they were, they would gain at least some knowledge on sexual life. So what if he took a glance? Didn't some women wish others would just keep on looking at them? From a certain perspective, did this not prove one's charm? 200 to 300 years later, Li Xiaoyao also peeked at, but nothing happened to him. Instead, he was protected and hidden. One big reason was that Song Yishe's mentality had already changed. Later, Li Xiaoyao would have another fortuitous encounter and become a sword path Gu immortal, and finally he and Song Yishi would become an immortal couple. Wasn't Song Yishi older than Li Xiaoyao by 200 to 300 years? She could be said to be a cradle robber. Of course, there is another reason. 200 to 300 years later, Song Qi Yuan's lifespan had been used up and he died. The rank 8 Gu immortals' fall created an enormous change in Eastern Sea's structure. Song clan began to weaken, and the enormous wealth Song Yishe had was coveted by others. Not only was there pressure from external sources, there was internal strife in the clan as well. Li Xiaoyao, who was taught by Song Yishe and accompanied her throughout his mortal Gu master stage and shared her sufferings, became the most reassuring individual to Song Yishe. Later, Li Xiaoyao inherited Sword Immortal Drunken Green Bull's inheritance and developed methods bringing in new advancements, and became a powerful sword path Gu immortal. This caused Song Yishe to fall for him. The two became an immortal couple, moving around without a set destination, secretively and freely. In the 5 regions' chaotic war, they appeared and worked together to resist rank 8 Gu immortals, becoming a great pillar in blocking Central Continent's offensive. Fang Yin fled while thinking leisurely about all sorts of things.